In April 2020, a brand new game mode was introduced to Rocket League. In code, it was originally called Godball, but to the public, it became known as Heatseeker. Now, since that first reveal, Heatseeker has returned 7 more times as a limited time mode, including its most recent appearance in August, when it boasted numbers that were almost 4 times as much as all the extra mode playlists combined. Now, this has been a rare win for Rocket League, which is usually a game in which the players really only care about regular modes. So I decided it would be an interesting topic to explore further. With some help from the senior community manager Devin Connors, I was given the rare opportunity to speak to a Psyonix programmer named Sky. Sky is the man behind Heatseeker. In this interview, we'll talk about how this game mode came to be and what the future might hold for this extremely popular LTM. Then, later at the end of the video, I'll be introducing you to a new community that is trying to take Heatseeker to the next level. Alright, Sky, so the first thing I have to ask is where Heatseeker mode came from. Like, I want to picture you just missing the net for the last time. You're like, that's it, I'm tired of this.
The Heatseeker mode actually started off as a joke. So back before we ever released Rocket League, I would joke with other developers and I would go, the ball should always go into the goal when we have our Psyonix flag equipped. And so for years I would joke on and off about this. And then finally, I was given some time to do like a prototype for a new game mode. And I decided, I was like, I'm going to do this ball aim idea. But I figured I'd add it in for everyone, not just the developers.
Oh, that was nice of you.
Yes.
Everybody needs to be good at Rocket League.
Yeah, you could have paywalled it. You could have made it a flag we had to buy, but you didn't. You gave it to everybody, right?
Man, we should hire you. Damn.
So after you kind of made it, did you think it was going to be well received, or did you think it was kind of more gimmicky? Or
That's a good question. When we had a working prototype, usually what we do is we just pass it off down the ether. And our playtest team, they'll take it away and they'll just playtest different builds, different stuff going on. And I heard some feedback and I heard people really liking it. And I was like, well, that's good. After that point, I just came back to it and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to continue on. And so I took all the player feedback and I turned it into what it is now.
Okay, so that probably leads me to my next question. Like, was there any major hurdles or bugs or things you didn't expect that came up during that testing that maybe caused it to change between your alpha, if you want to call it that, and what we see in the release version?
So development-wise, everything actually went pretty smooth, surprisingly. There definitely were some changes after our initial prototype. So for example, the ball originally had a constant speed, and after a lot of feedback, we decided it'd be better to start the ball off slow and then gradually increase it over time. But additionally, there were some minor tweaks here and there, but there were no major hurdles or bugs. We only do the best, my friend.
All right, I'll believe you. I guess I should probably throw in this question that some hardcore Heatseeker players gave me. It was about ball speed. So they're saying the ball cap is 103 miles per hour. Is that accurate?
So I can't give you specifics on the actual speed. I can tell you that it is slower than normal soccer ball, believe it or not. And the reason for that was because of all the internal play tests we had. People were like, oh, it's too fast, So we slowed it down, because we wanted to make sure that at the faster speeds, like high skill players could play it, but also we could start off initially with the low people and they could still enjoy it as well, right? So everybody could take fun in the game,
Right. I guess you could kind of think of it as scales up. If the players are good enough to hit it 6 or 7 times and it still hasn't gone in the net, it's almost like, well, here's the next level. Now it's faster, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because they were talking about how they can turn up max ball speed. They can get like 165. I guess they want faster. I don't know. Once it turns purple, that's over for me. So I'm not sure what they want. Okay, one other thing I would probably ask about is non-standard map. Have you played around with non-standard maps and Heatseeker before? Or were you kind of thinking it belongs just in a regular map?
So that's a good question. We've had a lot of design people on our team that want to branch it out. We're all for it. The problem with it now is that it's been designed specifically for standard maps. And so we're sort of limited in that regard.
Because with mods, you can try it. And obviously it's not designed for it.
Yes, I enjoy those mods. They're very fun to watch.
So yeah, personally, galleon with masts or pillars, I think it adds another element, maybe some variety, because some of these high level Heatseeker players, if you want to call them that, they can volley for half an hour or something stupid. Right? So maybe that's the next direction.
Which turns into Heatseeker pinball.
There we go. Yeah. All right. I'm going to talk about something controversial now, something close to my heart. Demoing in Heatseeker. So did you expect this to be an issue? What is your personal feeling as the god of Heatseeker, if you want to call yourself that? What's the role or place of demolitions?
Well, first off, I like being called the god of Heatseeker.
I'm sure you did.
God of Godball, maybe?
God of Godball.
The god of Godball. So, well, we didn't anticipate initially at release that the demos would be a problem, but we've definitely been listening to all the player feedback, and we've had a lot of internal discussions on ways to potentially solve it. One of the methods that I actually thought would be funny initially was we could have our matchmaking backend sort players based on if they demo in Heatseeker games or not. And this way, anyone that loves to demo would be grouped together with other demoers, right? And then everyone else could just play in peace.
In peace. That's a good way to say it.
You know,
Yeah.
to put it lightly. But at the time of release, though, our matchmaking backend just wasn't capable of doing this. But there's always hope for the future.
As someone who aggressively plays Heatseeker and loves to demo, I'm glad it is the way it is.
Okay. I'm just picturing Sky looking down as god of Heatseeker, disappointed in his followers that are fighting. He's going to separate them, make things right.
Yeah, I'll show them how demo.
So Heatseeker, arguably the most popular LTM. We see requests for people wanting it to be permanent or even ranked. Do you think there's enough support for this, or is it really just good in limited doses? Like me as a Heatseeker player, it's fun, but I feel like longevity, especially if it's in like a standard map, the tennis game just doesn't do it for me. But what do you think?
Well, first off, you are correct. Heatseeker is the most popular limited time mode. As for me personally, I would love to see Heatseeker as permanent, and mostly, you know, just because like I think if we did like a ranked mode, we would have some really amazing games between the high skill players, and I think they'd be really entertaining to watch. But we will have to see. You know, I wouldn't rule anything out in the future, but you know, anything's a possibility.
Yeah, well, Heatseeker, yeah, it does get pretty exciting in the high levels, and like it does make you feel like a god just for a little bit, like just getting that redirect, right? Because you just have to touch it, and then the game does everything else.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I would add on top of what Sky was talking about in terms of Heatseeker popularity is, you know, we're definitely conscious of that. So we're always looking at interesting ways to kind of expand on Heatseeker and playtesting cool ideas. And, you know, hopefully some of those will see the light of day.
Okay, yeah, one more thing I could ask Sky. So, like, you created most popular LTM right now. Does this create issues for you in the office? Like, who invented Ghost Hunter? Does he give you the stink eye all the time?
Well, I'm sure I hope not.
No offense. That's just not my favorite. Maybe some people like Ghost Hunter, okay?
But, you know, we all get along great. We all love each other. You know, but, you know, we're always working towards great things. And, you know, there's many great things to come.
All right, well, Sky, Devin, thanks for chatting with me a little bit. I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. And shout out to all the Heatseeker lovers out there.
Yeah, thanks for having us, and I hope everybody in your community gets a kick out of this chat.
Now, as you Heatseeker junkies anxiously await that time when it finally becomes a permanent playlist, I just want to let you know there's still another way to regularly get your Godball fix. It's a Discord community called Heatseeker Heaven. This is a place to find regular Heatseeker games, tournaments, or even participate in their new ranked queue system. But it's still in its infancy and needs more players like you to help it grow. So if you want to work on your Heatseeker skills in a fun, competitive atmosphere, click on the Heatseeker Heaven Discord link in the description or pinned comment below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that sub button. My name is Rocket Sledge. Thanks for watching.